Yo. What's going on? So it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. If you're just tuning in, thank you for watching this live. If you're not, feel free to watch the recording. Man, every time I use this phone, it throws me off because the camera is over here, but it like sets it up as a full thing. So, anyways, the title of this video is When You Lose Everything, You Win. And I like to kind of relate to my life as a game, personally. So I grew up playing chess and poker. I learned how to play poker as a kid, and I always used to lose, right? I kept trying to figure out, why do I lose all the time? Why am I always losing when I play poker? And it's because I wasn't cheating. Everybody else was cheating, right? So it's like, yeah, of course they're going to win because they're cheating. But in life, it's different, right? In life, the game is a lot longer, right? It's not an hour game. You can't fool somebody. You can only fool somebody for so long in real life, right? And so basically, in life, when you lose, you're actually winning. And the reason is because you have to ask yourself, what was at stake? Right? So, depending on what game you're playing, you could be winning something or losing something that really isn't that valuable. And a perfect example of this is when you go to the boardwalk or any real, like, if you go to like Dave & Buster's or anything like that, Jeepers. When I was a kid, we used to go to Jeepers. They give you these little, basically paper, right? They call them tickets. You get them when you win at a game. And then you take those tickets and you go and get a reward from the reward counter. But when you get there, you realize that even though you got all these tickets, all you can get is like bubble gum and shit, right? And so you're like, what the hell is this? And maybe you can get a bigger toy if your parents buy it for you, or what have you, or if you happen to buy a lot of tickets, or there's always a way around it. But if you see how the game is set up, it's usually set up to make you the loser, right? So the question is when you actually lose the game, who wins? Well, if you were to look at it from the arcade owner's perspective, when you lose, you actually win because you can't keep giving them any more money. So you're not actually valuable to them anymore, right? So they actually want you to leave when you lose. This is why they give you the tickets and tell you that you won, right? Because you actually lost and you don't have any more money. And so it's a nice way to keep you coming back so that you can feel like you actually won something, right? Now here's where it gets tricky. Because I just used the analogy of... Oh, I just dropped something. I just used the analogy of life as a game, right? And some people can look at life as a game. And when life is a game... Yo, what's up, man? When life is a game, people will play it in a certain way, right? And typically, when people play to win, they cheat, right? So you have to ask yourself, why is somebody playing to win this game of life, right? And what does that even mean? Like, what exactly does it mean to win at life? Well, this is when you start talking about the ideas of success and, however each person defines happiness, right? Because happiness is relative to a person in and of themselves, right? So the question is when you get here, what happens when you realize that you lost the game? That somebody was playing a game with you and you just lost. What happens then? What happens when you realize that everything that you were told in life was a lie? What happens then? Well, some would say their life is falling apart. Life is coming after them. God is out to get them. Whatever you want to say. But in reality, life is trying to set you up to show you that you're playing a game that you're never going to win. Right? Like you're trying to fool yourself the whole time. Right? So there's a certain spiritual teaching basically where once you learn it, you can never go back. Right? Once you understand this truth of life, everything else leading up to that no longer makes sense. And when you cross that point, you can't turn back. Right? So a lot of my friends never wanted to cross that point. So they saw that point, they knew it was there, and they were like, yo, I know I can't turn back, so I'm not going to do that. And that's one way to live your life. Right? You can definitely do that. And that is the safe way to live it. But the question you have to ask yourself is, at what cost? What are you sacrificing to live this way? What possibility could you have brought forth in your life that you are no longer having the opportunity to do because you are denying that reality and continuing to perpetuate a false belief? So for me, what I was doing was denying that I had a brother, denying that I had a sister, denying that I had a real mother. And now, my real mother is in the hospital, probably really, really close to death. Hopefully she comes back. My brother, God bless him, is alive, but he's really, really far out there. And so is my sister. And for me, the way it looks like is, this is because I fooled myself for so many years, and I didn't give them the love that they needed, and this is why they are this way. Now, obviously, that's not true, right? But this is another part of reality that likes to wrap itself around you, right? And when it starts to do that, you have to ask yourself, what game am I playing here? And am I going to win or am I going to lose? And if you're going to lose, that's okay. It is okay to leave the casino when you're fucking losing. It's okay, because that way you're not going to lose your house, right? Like, you're not going to lose your car. You can still drive home, okay? Like, I've been there. I've been to that fucking casino trying to make money, right? Trying to fucking pay my bills. That shit never happens, right? When they figure out you know how to count cards, they start stacking the deck against you, right? That's what they do in life. So, you have to stop playing other people's fucking games and start playing your own.